What up, fellas? You know who it is. So there's some things that your dad should have taught you, and it's unfortunate that a lot of guys never get taught these things in their life, and they're in their 60s or 70s or even dead by now, and they never got taught these things in their lives. My channel is mainly towards men. It's mainly for men. My videos are mainly directed towards men. Why? It's because I know that whatever the fuck I say to chicks, y'all bitches ain't gonna change your mind. You can, all you want to hear are videos, all you want to see are videos that make you feel good, that make you feel comfortable. You don't want to hear the harsh, cold truth. But I still made a video for you guys, ladies. And I titled it, Ladies, So You Want to Be Unique, huh? Go check it out. Very informative video for ladies out there. You can thank Daddy Zeke later for that. DM me. We'll set up a schedule. We'll schedule a time. So I'm sure after I'm done making this video, there will be a couple things that I probably didn't mention because, you know, all the videos that I make are mainly from personal experience and my opinion. That might differ from some of you guys' that might differ from other people's opinions, obviously. But that doesn't mean that what I'm saying is false. You guys can verify that with your own life if you want. Anyways, so I will try my best to give you guys the main points that every father should teach their sons, especially in today's world, because the world has become a lot harsher, colder, and more difficult place to live if you're not ready. Number one lesson, and before I start that, let me finish that thought real quick. So I will try my best to give you guys the things that every father should teach their son, but as I said, I might leave a couple points or a couple comments or a couple major things here and there. And if you guys come up with something that you think is worth sharing with other brothers, let us know in the comment section below. Number one, bitches ain't shit. And pussy doesn't make you a man. The amount of girls you sleep with does not make you a man. Does not validate your manhood. And these chicks out here have always played games, have always been passive, have always denied accountability and responsibility. So you just have to know that they ain't worth your time. And as time progresses, these bitches are gonna get worse. When you know that, you occupy you are equipped with the right type of weapon to fight this battle when they try to gaslight you. Because I promise you, if you're a man on your purpose, if you're a man on your mission, you have your head straight, you're grinding, and you don't have tolerance for bullshit, you're going to get a lot of people, even guys, who's going to try to gaslight you. Oh, who hurt you? Oh, you're ugly. Oh, your mom should have swallowed you. There's no amount of insults that I haven't heard. And there's no insult that I haven't heard yet, fellas. But they will never call you a liar because they know what they're saying. Because they know what you're saying is the truth. So this will get you ready. When you know and accept that bitches ain't shit, when you know these 98% of these chicks out here ain't worth a dime, you don't keep your expectations up. Your hopes are not up. And that's why it's easy for you to walk away. That's why you're just like, whatever. She fucked my best friend, whatever. I saw that coming. Versus when you actually have hopes in these chicks and in your relationship, and she does something trifling like that, your heart shatters into pieces, which results in you being depressed, which then results into you killing yourself. I know so many guys who ended themselves just because they couldn't get over a breakup. Bro, come on, man. Life is so much more than girls. There's 4 billion of these pussies walking around. I don't want to say pussies, that sounds weird or different. There's 4 billions of creatures with a pussy walking around in this planet. And you're going to end your life over one? Just think for a logical moment how stupid that sounds. Yeah, you might see that your life doesn't have any meaning right now. You might see that you're not getting any results out of life. You might see that life sucks. It's hard right now, but you're not seeing what's ahead of you. Which brings me to my next point that every father should have taught their sons is to have consistency and discipline in their life. Consistency and discipline, fellas. You have to have these two things. A nice physique doesn't happen overnight. A nice physique doesn't happen in 4 months, even if you're hitting the gym every single day and eating clean every single day. No cheat meals. A nice physique might not even happen in 4 years. It might take you 12 years. Probably won't, but I'm just saying, if your genetics are that shit, it might just take you 12 years. But don't give up, because that's only 12 years out of your life. And when I say only 12 years, that's in a relative sense. Obviously, 12 years of lifetime is very important. 12 seconds is very important. Time is very important, obviously. But after that first 12 years that you grinded, that you're on your grind for, you have the rest of your life to live happily after, or to be satisfied with what you got. Now you can improve from that. You can keep building more from that if you choose to. Or you might just be satisfied with what you have, because whatever you have might just be enough for you. To become a millionaire takes time. To become a ladies' man, to learn game, to know what to say to women, takes practice, consistency, and discipline and time. You don't just go up to a bitch, or you don't just go start approaching 1,000 girls every year of your life. Maybe you do that in your first year, and then you come up with a new strategy, whatever works for you, because whatever works for you, whatever works for me might not work for the next guy. So you strategize, and that takes time. That takes trial and error. Everything takes trial and error, fellas. Everything takes time in life. So your dad should have taught you that. Consistency and discipline needs to be in your life. Fellas, there's been genius people in this world who weren't able to do something with their lives. But there were guys who had mediocre talent, but they went a lot further than guys who were genius. Guys who were given the natural talent of whatever they were talented at. Why? Because these guys who had mediocre talents were consistent, and they had the discipline to keep going, to keep doing it, to keep digging, to keep grinding, to reach deep within themselves and find that extra source of motivation on that last minute when he feels like giving up. Let me just see a few more months. Let me just see a couple more days of grinding. Let me just try it one more time. They have that within themselves to dig it out, to reach deep inside and find it. I failed a couple classes in my engineering program. I didn't give up. I thought about giving up over and over again. Now, I got 1 more year left. It's going to be a tough year. I got 1 more year left. I already have a job lined up after. I have good things coming ahead for me. But I stayed consistent and I stayed disciplined. I wasn't fucking around and wasting my time. I wasted a little bit of time to enjoy my life, because you got to have a balance. But I had discipline to wake up at a certain time every single day. I had the discipline to go to the gym after a long day at school and homework and at work. I had the discipline to come home from the gym and do the extra homework that needed to be done for my classes the next day. I had the discipline to study till 1, 2 a.m. at night. Wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and study again right before the test so I didn't fucking fail. Again. I had the discipline to go out and seek help from tutors in the weekends. Because I just needed extra work. I just needed extra studying than some of the other kids in my group. Why? Because I'm not a natural genius. I'm not a God-given talented genius. I have to work hard for whatever I have. I have to work with whatever I have, and I had to work hard to get any kind of achievement in life. I wasn't gifted with nothing. I grew up in a single motherhood family. My dad left me when I was 2 years old. My parents got divorced. And I wish he taught me these things earlier, so I didn't make the mistakes I did back then when I was in my teens. You might just have to keep doing for 1 more year, for 2 more years, for 3 more years. You might just lose 1 or 2 businesses. You might just flop. Ray Kroc, who came up with McDonald's, right? Who was the founder of McDonald's? Watch that documentary. There's a documentary done on him, and there's even a movie on that guy as well. And see how many times he got turned down by dudes. But he didn't give up. He kept going and going and going. So whatever you're doing right now, yes, it sucks. Yes, life sucks. Yes, you're broke. Yes, you're not making money. Yes, you're driving around in a 94 Honda Civic. That sounds like your cat screaming. But just know that this pain that you're suffering right now, this ego, this hurt that your ego is taking right now, is going to only be for temporary time. It's only going to be there for a temporary period of time. It's not going to be permanent. But if you stop grinding, if you give up, and you take all your savings from your school, from your bank, and buy a newer car, instead of paying off your college tuition, now you're delaying that process, or you might not ever reach that success point. Why? Because you just bought a new car, bitch is starting to like you more and more. Your attention is getting away from your studying and going to chicks. Why? Because you're getting more and more choosing signals because of your new whip. And now you're wasting more time on chicks and not on your studying, and now you end up failing classes and you get held back. And after getting held back for a certain amount of years, after failing so many classes, you give up. You say, you know what, this is not worth it. I'm gonna go do something else. See how the smallest decisions in your life can have a chain reaction and effect at the largest platform in your life? That's why every single decisions need to be calculated, and you need to take calculated risks, and you need to have a delayed gratification. You need to sacrifice. You need to prolong that impulse, that impulsive decision that you have within yourself. The impulsiveness that you have within yourself needs to be stopped, is what I'm trying to say, for the long run. Because when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, you might not have the desire and the drive as you do now to make greater things in life. Why? Because naturally your testosterone levels will start to drop. And we all know with testosterone comes the drive to create and to make shit happen. This is why you feel a lot more energetic when you don't masturbate and go work out or go talk to people and do things. You feel a lot more motivated and energetic. That's another video topic. Next thing, what I want to say that your daddy should have told you is nobody gives a fuck about your feelings. The world does not care. It will keep revolving around the sun. It will keep rotating on its axis. It will never stop. Just because you stop. Just because somebody called you a name. Just because somebody cut you off in traffic. Just because a bitch called your mom a whore because you said you wasn't interested in her. Just because you walked up to a girl and she laughed at you because you're so ugly in her eyes. Nobody cares about any of this. You can't either. So just because you stop because these things happened, you're the one who's going to suffer. Your parents won't. Your children won't. Your brothers, your siblings won't. Your cousins won't. Nobody will. Nobody's life's going to be affected by yours. Well, if you have a family and you're the only breadwinner, yeah, your children's lives going to be affected as well, obviously. But you guys get the idea. The world does not give a fuck. We don't see. The world only favors, the law of attraction only favors the strong men. We don't have time for the weak. Even if when people say, oh, everybody's accepted, it's a fucking bullshit lie that they're selling you. They themselves know that they don't have the time for the weak. These bitches who are the social workers, social justice warriors, if a beta male or a guy who looks like a fucking incel walked up to her and she herself looked like a 7 or an 8 and asked her out on a date, do you think she's gonna say yes? Oh, that doesn't mean that he doesn't matter just because I'm not attracted to him. Bitch, then why the fuck are you preaching this bullshit that everybody's equal? Clearly he's not equal, as the guy who you just banged out last night, whose load you just took on your face. Clearly, so clearly everybody's not equal. So stop with this bullshit. And I don't mean strong as in physically strong, mentally strong. Life is going to throw a curveball at you. You're going to be dealt the wrong hand. What are you going to do about it? Because crying, bitching, and moaning and complaining ain't going to solve your problem. I promise you that. Tell me one time that a problem was solved just because you bitched, moaned, and complained and sat on your ass and didn't do anything about it. Just tell me one. I'll wait. Pause the video. Let me know in the comment section below when that happened. It never did. It never will. So just because somebody cut you off in traffic, cursed you out, and even, let's just say, burn down your house, doesn't mean you just go off on them. Doesn't mean you just lose it. Doesn't mean you become emotionally unstable. Instead, you make logical decisions. What's the logical decision when somebody curses you out? Or when a bitch doesn't find you attractive? Or when somebody cuts you off in the traffic? Or when somebody's calling your mom nasty names? Walk away. Especially if they're doing it online. Walk away. Why? Because the more you respond to them, the more they're gonna feed off of your negative energy. And this is attention to women. Even to beta males, they love feeding off of this negative attention. So stop giving it to them. Stay stoic. Leave them on red. If it happens to you in person, either you can just say a smart ass comment. You can make a smart ass comment. You can be sarcastic, sure. Or you can curse them out too, sure, yeah. Or you can not just say anything at all. If somebody makes contact with you, however, physical contact, yeah, you need to take care of business. The sleeves are gonna roll up right then and there. I don't give a fuck if I'm gonna lose at this fucking fight. I'm still going to go home with a black eye, but knowing that my ego was not blacked out, that my ego didn't take the hurt, that didn't take the punch. My manhood means more to me. a guy's getting on your face, you don't need to clock him out. You don't need to knock him out. You can get on his face right back too. But always wait till he throws the first punch. You might need to just go take some fighting classes. Learn how to block or dodge, or even take a punch and get back on your feet and finish him. But if you're hungry, you need to go out, make the money, work, and feed yourself. If you're going through a dry spell, a dry season, you're not getting any pussy, go out and get some pussy. Instead of bitching, moaning, and complaining on social media and saying how women are vindictive, women don't give you the time of the day. You're just fucking with the wrong type of woman. I promise you, every woman, every man out there will be desired by some woman if he does the self-improvement. When I say the self-improvement, fellas, it goes over a lot of you guys' head. Why? Because you guys want a quick fix. If your genetics are shit, you're gonna need to work a little bit harder than a guy whose genetics are really good. And still, you might not even get to his body. Your body might never look as good as his body does. But at least your body looks the best it can look. At least you're making the max amount of money you can possibly can. That's all you need to compete with is yourself. Don't try to compare and compete with other people. You're always going to lose. You're not going to be happy. It's going to be a miserable fucking time. That's another thing Daddy should have taught you. You are your worst enemy. You are standing in between you and your success. So compete and compare yourself to yourself. That's it. Fellas, life is short and life is also long. It depends on how you want it to be. If you're in prison, it's going to be a very long life you're going to live. If you're a multi-millionaire, it's going to be a very short life. Because you're going to be way too busy fucking these hoes to sleep, doing the things you love doing that makes you happy, and enjoying your life. And you'll notice good times always fly by like that. It's the bad times that make us seem that time has stopped. I'm only 22 years old, and I learned a lot of important, valuable lessons about life, about people. People don't give a fuck about you. The world doesn't give a fuck about you. Nobody's out here watching your back. You have to do it for yourself. Job fired you, find another one. Girl left you, find another one. Had a setback from the gym because you had an injury, get back into it after you're done rehabbing. But never stop. Never let the gears stop. Always keep lubricating your gears and keep that bitch running. Hope this video made sense. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to add some other things that I probably missed out. But in my opinion, these were the big things that I really thought would have made a much bigger impact in my life if I knew these things 5-6 years earlier. Always keep the big picture in the back of your head, which is yourself and your time and your self-improvement. A bitch rejected you, look at the big picture. After a few years, after a decade, she gonna be a nobody. But if you keep grinding, if you keep investing your money in the right way, if you keep buying real estate properties, your net worth, your income, your self-value, self-worth is going to go up off the roof, while her is going to take a nosedive. That's the big picture. Always keep that in mind. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Zeekpeak. Until next time, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and above all, stay classy.